Today is Monday, Parashat Tzav. There are two mitzvot in the parasha of this week that speak about certain parts of the animal that we're not allowed to eat. The meat is kosher, the animal was slaughtered according to halacha, it's not terrified, doesn't have any blemish in it, yet certain aspects of the animal are not allowed to eat. One of them is the chelev. Chelev is a certain type of fat that is in certain parts of the animal that the butcher cleans up so that it's not included in what you would buy in the store. And that chelev is asur to eat. The other item that is forbidden to eat is the blood. The pasuk says, "V'chol dam lo tochelu b'chol moshvotechem la'o ve'labehema." Do not eat any blood in any of your dwelling places, whether from birds or from animals. And nowadays, when we buy kosher meat, in most of the countries, I would say, at least in the US, for sure, if the meat that is sold in the butcher shops has already been salted and prepared so that the blood that is forbidden to eat has been already absorbed by the salt that the animal parts have been salted by. But there used to be a time in some of the old countries, and even in some butcher shops in Israel, where when you buy meat, you're supposed to do the melicha, the salting of it, before you can partake of it. So it could be a kosher meat, but yet not salted. And how do you do the salting? That's a set of halachot that has become over time not so well known, because typically all the meat that we buy in the kosher butcher shops has already been salted. So basically, just as a summary of what do we do to prepare the meat once you've purchased it, it's been slaughtered according to halacha, before you can partake of it. This is not where you're doing barbecue, because on a barbecue we have the leniency where the blood is just going to drip over the fire. But if you're going to cook it, then you have first to soak it in water for about half an hour. And then after you've soaked it in water for about half an hour, you have to wash it 3 times until you get all the blood, so like the water becomes totally clear. There's no more of that redness from the blood. Then you salt the meat. The meat is salted then with a type of salt that is not too fine, and not big chunks of salt, but rather like it's a coarse type of salt. I think they even sell it in the supermarkets, and they call it kosher salt. So you take that salt, which is a coarse salt, and you spread it over the meat, and you let the meat in that salt for an hour. And afterwards, you do again a second washing, where you wash it twice, so actually 3 times, to get rid of the salt, and then to wash out whatever is left still on there. And then you can take the meat and use it in cooking, because then whatever blood was on the surface and had to come out, and even the actual salt is going to absorb some of the blood that is inside. Of course, we would not be concerned with some of the blood that is inside the meat, way inside. And this salting of the meat is important in order to fulfill this mitzvah of not eating the blood, as it says in the parasha of this week, la'ov ve'labehema, whether for birds, for chicken, or for behema, for the animals. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.